You might remember Tanks from Wii Play. In a compilation of very simple minigames with not too much to them, Tanks stood out as it actually had a fair amount of depth. A top-down shooter which required the player to carefully maneuver around the maps and calculate their shots to contest AI opponents with varying behaviors. Wii Tanks is basically an expanded, standalone version from the minigame, and they're pretty upfront about that. I mean, it's literally called Wii Tanks. Like the minigame it spawned from, it's an arcadey, 3/4 top-down shooter with a toyish aesthetic, accompanied with the iconic progressive music which changes depending on the playing field. Your methods of attack consist of laying down or lobbing landmines and firing bullets at your enemies that can also be ricocheted off of walls. It all starts off easily enough. The layouts are simple and the enemies are easy to take care of. You'll notice a lot of familiar tanks back from Wii Play. Yellow tanks that can lay mines, white ones that go invisible, or the black tanks that are fast and aggressive. And of course you have the ever infamous green tanks that must have a PhD in geometry, bouncing their rockets off the walls at crazy angles to catch the player off guard. But there are new foes thrown into the mix as well. To name just a few, you have orange tanks that can shotgun projectiles, peach tanks can support their allies by giving them force fields, the rocket tank can fire aerial rockets, which strike near the player regardless of line of sight. Electro tanks can teleport and stun you, cherry tanks are passive at first, but go completely aggro if you get caught in their line of sight, and commando tanks can call in reinforcements. There are even boss tanks at certain stages, ready to throw you for a loop. Environments also get mixed up as well. They can be dark, rainy, or foggy. Trains can roll through, crushing both enemy and player alike if you're not careful. TNT blocks can explode when they're shot, and electro pads can shock you and enemies, and they transform your bullets into electrically charged shots. These new enemies and environments are introduced slowly at first, but you're in for quite the challenge once the game starts combining the various tank types and hazards in their levels. Once you get settled in, you really start to feel the heat as your limited pools of lives are stripped from you. Chances are, you're gonna die a lot. It's frustrating, but that's kind of the fun. Throwing yourself into these stages time and time again is tough, but finally making that breakthrough is gratifying indeed. There's 100 levels in the main campaign, although you do get an extra life every 5 levels, and a checkpoint every 10. And boy, losing your last life just before you reach that save spot is brutal. But once you manage to finally claw your way to victory, finally reaching that checkpoint is satisfying. Funnily enough, we're talking about how hard this game is. We played the thing on toddler difficulty, the easiest there is. There are even harder difficulties that increase enemy quantity and improve the quality of their AI, while decreasing your life pool, so the margin for error gets even smaller. If you're looking to 100% the main game, well, it's not as in and out as it may seem. Other than the main campaign, you have special challenges, like timed missions, being forced to use exclusively mines to blow up the opposition to score some cheeky kills, or relying on ricochets to take everyone out. Survival is this Call of Duty Zombies type game mode where you're put in a map and have to fend off ever-increasing hordes of tanks that grow stronger and more numerous with each passing round. You can buy upgrades to increase speed, firepower, health, and build speed for repairing barricades. You can always enjoy a good laid-back horde mode where you just get to blast away at enemies with little thought. The most interesting thing Wii Tanks has to offer is its map editor. This game allows you to design your own stages, with sizes of the arenas ranging from small, normal, big, and large. From there, you can lay down anything as you wish, placing blocks, decorations, and enemies wherever you want. The game gives you a wide variety of things to choose from, even giving you entirely new items not seen in the mainline campaign. So there's a lot to explore and experiment with here. You can even make your own tank with its own stats. I call this one the Jedenwagen. It's so fast, it blows itself up on its own bullets. A marvel of Jetavisionite engineering. Level creation is otherwise pretty straightforward. It gives you all the tools you need, and you can more or less just have at it. And if you don't want to make your own levels, you can just play the ones that others have made on the Steam Workshop. So you have a lot of content available to you beyond just the main game. For a level creator, there's really no complaints here. Except one. You don't get everything available to you at the get-go. You actually have to purchase some of them with the in-game currency, marbles, in this mode called Tanky Town. Tanky Town by itself isn't that bad of a mode. It's this small little map where you can run around and buy different skins and kill animations for your tank, gamble, and there's even this Grand Theft Auto type thing where you have to hold off these police tanks. Back to the marbles, there aren't any microtransactions. You earn them by simply playing the game, and then you can use them to purchase items which can then be used in the level editor. To be fair, said marbles can be earned at a decently fast rate, but irregardless, it's a lot of dedication expected for such a simple game. I really don't think this is something that a lot of players are going to stick with. It's also worth noting that this game has online multiplayer. Free-for-all, team deathmatch, co-op, and even a soccer mode are on offer here. Unfortunately, it's not something we were able to test, as it seems to be friends only from the looks of it, so I can't comment on its quality. But it is something that the game offers, just in case you wanted to get your friends on board. So that is, more or less, Wii Tanks. A pretty good update to what came before, while it stays very close to the vision presented by the original Wii Play Tanks, giving it a familiar and not too over-the-top presentation. It also adds a lot of new interesting and quirky new features and game modes, making way for new and riveting challenges. And its level creator that allows you to make levels and play what others have created may very well keep you coming back for more. Jetavision's score for Wii Tanks is a 7.5 out of 10. As far as recommendations go, I think it's pretty straightforward. If you look at a game like this and you think, that looks pretty fun, you'll probably like it. It's $10, which isn't a lot to pay for a game, though we'd personally say it's worth holding off till a sale for a better deal. Otherwise, if you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. You've just watched Jetavision's review of Wii Tanks. If you liked the video, leave a rating and leave a comment for that algorithm. We make game and movie reviews here, so if you want to stay up to date with those, subscribe to the channel, follow the Twitter, and join the Discord. Mac Cheese to Jetavision, signing out. You all have a good one.